Hello everybody, welcome back to the Book Talk. I'm your host Juan. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Jeff Bezos' biography. The title of the book is called The Everything Store and it's written by Brad Stone. Also, if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to make reading a habit so you can earn more money in your career and in your business, you can start now by subscribing and clicking on the bell so you don't miss anything. At the Oscars, Chris Rock joked that Jeff Bezos is so rich. The guy got divorced and he's still the richest man in the world. And in the news, we also hear how Amazon managed to pay almost nothing, $0 in taxes, and they got away with it. And recently, also, we've been hearing how even if you're the richest man in the world, right? Because he is the richest man in the world, he still got hacked by somebody. Simply said, everybody's talking about this guy. And in this book, Brad Stone, he divides it in 3 parts, and he writes about who Jeff Bezos really is as a person and what we can all learn from him. So in this part of the book, Brad Stone writes about the humble beginnings of young Jeff Bezos. Turns out he was just a regular kid who was just really curious about how things around him worked. But he was also very disciplined and super competitive. Like, he was the type of guy that always wanted to be number one in his school. And when he was young, he also read a lot of books. And he liked this show called Star Trek. You guys might have heard about it. And he was so inspired by this show that he said, one day I'm going to build my aerospace company so that us humans can travel to space. So you could actually make the argument that he created Amazon.com first just so he could finance his spaceship company. And that's how ambitious he was. As kids, we have, these crazy big dreams, right? And he was like that too, except he worked like really, really hard at it. And he wasn't more rich. He wasn't born into, he didn't have like that many connections, but he did have a very supportive family and a spouse and friends. And that's what I got from the first part. For anything that you want to do, whether it's building a huge e-commerce website or a spaceship company, you need to have people around you that will support these crazy dreams. And when you have that, then you're more motivated to even keep going further when you want to give up. In part 2 of the book, Brad Stone writes about how Amazon managed to be so successful. And long story short again, it turns out that it's not so hard to get to the top, but the hardest part is actually to remain being number one. So for example, Amazon, we know Amazon as being the number one company when it comes to e-commerce. But how did they manage to continue to be number one? Well, Jeff Bezos decided to get himself into the e-market. So the e-market are the electronic books. He dominated that sector by, inventing what's called the Kindle. It's just an e-book reader, and he managed to, to develop a device that's really, really well at a good price, and people loved it, and bam. Now he dominates that mark. And then he didn't stop at that. He also started making other things like AWS. That stands for Amazon Web Services. And it's basically just a platform that a lot of companies can use so that they can build their websites there and offer cloud services. So you guys are getting the idea. If we fail to innovate and to move, keep up with the times, then we go bankrupt if you happen to own a company. For example, we can also talk about Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster was number one at renting movies. But then came Netflix, and they're like, aha, we're digital. And Blockbuster they didn't adapt fast enough, so now we have Netflix. And we can also talk about Kodak. Kodak was number one with photography, and they sold these films, and now we have digital cameras. And Kodak didn't adapt fast enough. So Kodak went bankrupt, and now digital cameras are number one. Innovate and keep up with the times. Otherwise, you're not going to do that well. That's the message of part number 2. Remember how I started the video by saying that Amazon paid close to nothing in taxes? Well, yeah, guys, that's a real thing. And not only Amazon is doing this, but a lot of other big companies too. And it explains why the rich are only getting richer and bigger. That's also the reason why a lot of small business owners don't think that companies like Amazon are the good guys. They think we need to take these big corporates down because they're just, they're too greedy. The good news that I have for you guys is that you can use the exact same laws to your advantage for your company that Amazon is using. Legally, yes, because the laws were not just written for big companies, you can use them too. And they're written right here. It's all explained right there. Granted, you still need professional and legal advice on how to execute it for your own business. And I won't get into detail about that because that's just a whole different subject. I don't want to make this video too big. But yeah, guys, you can pay close to nothing in taxes legally. I'm not speaking of anything illegal because if you don't pay your taxes, you can go to jail. But overall, what did I got from this book, right? It's not only thinking big is not only important, but you also need to think long term. Amazon, their whole thing was to keep us, their customers, really happy. They do that by offering the lowest price possible and sending free shipping with their Prime service. And Jeff Bezos, when he introduced that idea to his company, his executives, as his team members, were like, "Are you crazy? We're going to lose a lot of money. Free shipping? No, we were supposed to make money." But then Jeff Bezos was thinking long term. He's like, yeah, we might be losing money, short term because people are getting free shipping, but this will give people an incentives to buy more. So because they're buying more, in the end, we're going to actually make more money in the long term. I actually go more into detail about how this formula works in the video right there on the screen, so you can guys go check it out. And guys, let me know what you think about Amazon, Jeff Bezos. I would love to talk to you about it. And that's it. I hope you guys like my review, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye-bye.